Any operator at work could suffer a sudden cardiac arrest for several reasons. In such an urgent situation, the emergency protocol, protect, warn and aid, shall always be applied. First of all, the affected area, rescuers themselves as well as any third parties shall be duly protected. Straight away, the situation and victim's condition shall be assessed, and then we shall call for external help. Finally, the victim shall be attended. And now, a short description of how to proceed in case of a fainting and falling worker after a cardiac arrest due to an electric shock or for any other reason. It must be said that, under no circumstances should the victim be moved, unless we are 100% sure that there is no head or spinal injuries. In this emergency intervention example, the rescuer shall tie themselves to a secure anchoring point. They will have to close the hoist hatch next, in order to avoid any possible falls of any person or material. Right after that, check the victim's consciousness, and their breathing if they are unconscious. How to check the consciousness? Talk to the victim and if there is no answer, try tapping on their chest for reaction. And if it fails, rub their breastbone with your knuckles. If there is no response to this nerve stimulation, in conclusion the victim's unconsciousness will be regarded. If the victim is conscious, put them into the recovery position. How to check the victim's breathing? Should the victim breathe, providing that there is no head or spinal injury, put them into the recovery position, and call for help. If the victim is not breathing, start the cardiopulmonary resuscitation immediately. When the victim's position obstructs the breathing, check. Lay down the victim face up carefully, avoiding blows or any damage on their neck and head. As fast as possible, loosen the victim's clothes, unfasten their harness and take off the helmet if you are 100% sure that there is no head or spinal injury in order to keep the airways open. Check that there is no foreign body in the victim's mouth and then check their breathing by performing the head tilt chin maneuver, seeing, hearing and feeling it. This checking procedure consists in putting the ear close to the victim's nose, viewing whether their chest goes up, hearing the noise of the respiration, or feeling the exhaled air on the cheek. This phase may take from 5 to 10 seconds. If the victim is not breathing, call for external help and keep the phone hands-free or the speaker on, so that the cardiopulmonary resuscitation can be carried out without hanging up the emergency call. Start now the cardiopulmonary resuscitation according to the following sequence. Put the heel of one of your hands on the victim's chest right in the middle, between the nipples, and put the other on the first together. It is important for the rescuer to keep their back and arms straight and legs separated, for a more comfortable position during the resuscitation. Start the compressions, lowering the victim's chest 5 cm to a rhythm of between 100 and 120 reps per minute. It is recommended to give 2 insufflations after finishing each 30 compression cycle, by putting the victim's head in hyperextension, closing their nostrils, and sealing their mouth with our lips. Check that the victim's chest goes up and down to verify the performance of our insufflations. As far possible, this mouth contact will take place under hygiene measures such as protection masks, to prevent from any type of infection. These steps shall be repeated as many times as required, either until the sanitary services arrive, the victim breathes again, or the rescuer gets exhausted. If the insufflations were unfeasible for whatever reason, either for being alone or due to infection risk, compressions will take priority to the rhythm detailed before. If the victim recovered and started breathing again, and there is no head or spinal injury, they shall be put into recovery position, in order to assure the viability of airway and prevent bronchospiration in case of vomit. Straight away keep the victim warm so that they do not get cold. The rescuer will have to stay close to the victim and check regularly their respiration until the sanitary services take over the situation.